Welcome back, everybody. And today we're asking one of wrestling's favorite questions. The question that appears on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it nowadays, every Monday night at exactly 10:17 p.m. WWE's dying. Is it? Because according to the internet, WWE has supposedly been dying since Hogan left, Hart left, Stone Cold retired, Rock went to Hollywood, Punk walked out, Vince McMahon retired, then got kicked out, came back, retired again, Triple H took over, and somehow WWE, yeah, you're still making billions of dollars. So maybe the company isn't dying financially. Maybe there's something else. Well, today I want to argue something that might upset everybody equally. The biggest problem with WWE isn't ratings, it isn't attendance, it isn't AEW, it isn't Netflix, it isn't TKO. The biggest reason fans feel WWE is slowly dying, it's because WWE has become predictable. Not predictable in who wins, predictable in how they tell stories. And when wrestling becomes predictable, it slowly stops feeling magical. So, let's talk about it. So, WWE is more successful than ever. So, why are fans complaining? So, I'm going to start with some facts. Financially, WWE has never looked healthier. They're making record money. Television rights are worth billions. Merchandise sales remain huge. International events continue to sell out. The company, well, is expanding worldwide. So if someone says WWE is dying, factually, no. Financially, absolutely not. But where's the fans aren't talking about business? They're talking about passion. Now that's a huge difference. Think about your favorite restaurant. Imagine they make twice as much money, but every meal tastes exactly the same. The restaurant isn't dying, your excitement is dying. That's where WWE finds itself today. All right, here's my biggest criticism it is the formula problem. Well, everything feels manufactured. Watch enough WWE television, and you'll start noticing the formula. Opening promo, interruption, another interruption, a tag match announced, commercial, backstage interview, commercial, Judgment Day argues, commercial, women's match, maybe, commercial, main event, commercial, 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 huge brawl, and the show ends. Every single week. Imagine watching a detective show where every episode ends with, I guess we'll find out next week. Eventually, you stop caring. Professional wrestling should feel chaotic. Instead, it feels scheduled. Like someone is just checking boxes. I'm going to give you an example. Every Bloodline episode eventually became Roman enters, Heyman talked, Solo stares, Jacob Fatu destroys somebody, show end. Was it entertaining? Usually. Was it surprising? Less and less. Fans don't hate repetition, they hate predictable repetition. So, have the characters become brands? Well, one thing WWE used to excel at was creating larger than life personalities. Stone Cold, he wasn't a brand, he was chaos. The Rock wasn't protecting a corporate image, he roasted everyone. Mick Foley, he felt human. Edge, he felt dangerous. And today, many wrestlers feel media trained. Nobody can say too much. Nobody can go too far. Nobody can really fail. Everybody is marketable, which sounds wonderful until every promo sounds like it passed through human resources. So let's think about CM Punk. Whether you love him or hate him, you know when he's talking. The same can be said with Cody Rhodes and Drew McIntyre because they're a loud personality. Too many others, they just feel interchangeable. All right, you remember when winning the WWE Championship changed everything? Well, now, championships, yeah, they feel less important. They just feel like accessories. And there's so many titles that fans sometimes forget who holds them. Women's tag title, world title, WWE tag titles, intercontinental title for both men and women, United States title, both men and women. You have a world heavyweight title, an undisputed WWE title, a speed championship, NXT championships, and going on. More championships doesn't automatically create prestige. Actually, it often creates the opposite. Prestige becomes sacred. When everyone is champion, nobody really feels special. All right. One issue that modern WWE has, and I'm going to call this the moment era. Yes, WWE is chasing moments. Every pay per view needs a surprise, a return, a stare down, a meme, a gift. And before you yell at me, I will not call them a plea. Something that trends. Well, the problem? Moments aren't stories. Stories create moments, not the other way around. Austin shaking McMahon's hand? Yeah, a moment. But it was built over months. Bryan Danielson at WrestleMania 30 was a moment, but it had been built over years. Kofi Kingston, moment, built through fan demand. You can't manufacture those. Well, WWE has a problem, and it's not just a WWE problem. It's a wrestling problem, but it's something that wrestling promoters can't control. The fans. Yes, you, the fan, know too much. The internet. 30 years ago, fans watched wrestling. Today, fans, well, they watch wrestling while reading dirt sheets, while checking Twitter X, while listening to podcasts, while arguing on Reddit. Everybody knows contract rumors, everybody knows backstage politics, everybody knows injury reports. It's difficult to surprise fans anymore. Sometimes WWE gets blamed for fans spoiling the show themselves. Seems a little unfair to me. So, what can WWE fix? Well, we can find a solution. First, you need to trust wrestlers more. Secondly, allow genuine unpredictability. Third, stop scripting every conversation like it's a TED Talk. Fourth, make championships harder to win. Fifth, accept failure. Some of WWE's greatest stars failed. Austin, he wasn't immediately Stone Cold Steve Austin. The Rock wasn't immediately The Rock. John Cena almost got fired. Roman Reigns, he needed years before he became the tribal chief. Growth requires mistakes. So, is WWE dying? No, not financially, not globally, not even as a business. But there is another question. Is WWE losing the emotional connection that once made fans obsessed? Sometimes, yes. The biggest danger isn't declining ratings, it's fans caring just a little less. Because wrestling isn't built on billion-dollar television deals, it's built on emotional investment. When fans believe, they'll forgive almost anything. When they stop believing, even 5-star matches, they feel empty. That's WWE's real challenge. Not survival, not wonder. The day WWE constantly makes fans feel like absolutely anything can happen again, that's the day wrestling truly becomes must watch television. And honestly, that's every wrestling fan's dream. We don't need perfection. We don't need nostalgia. We just need that feeling, like where your jaw hits the floor and you immediately text your friend, "Did you just see that?" That's professional wrestling. That's the magic, and hopefully that's the WWE we get often in the future. So, if you enjoyed today's discussion, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the podcast with your favorite wrestling fan, even the one who insists wrestling died in 2001, but somehow still watches every Monday night. So, what do you think is WWE's biggest issue today? Is it creative, predictability, too many championships, overproduced promos? Or do you think fans are simply impossible to satisfy in a social media era, which is something we'll discuss in a later podcast? Let me know in the comments. So, until next time, keep your shoulders off the mat, keep your opinions spicy, and remember, in professional wrestling, the loudest chants usually come from the fans who swear they're done watching and tunes in again next Monday. So, until next time, I will see you later.